Round 9 of the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship takes us to the East Coast for a race in the US state of Virginia. This event will be the only GT exclusive race this season, with the absence of Lime Rock Park from the calendar, and so technically for the very first time and only time this season, all cars can battle for the overall win. So in this race preview, I'll break down all the key details that you need to know ahead of the 2024 Michelin GT Challenge at VIR. The track's abbreviated form of VIR stands for Virginia International Raceway, and this race is unlike any WeatherTech Championship event this season, with literally zero prototypes on the grid. This means that we will not see the GTP or LMP2 cars on the grid at VIR, and as I mentioned before, the GT cars will therefore battle for the overall win. Heading into this race, we are coming back from a fantastic event at Road America, which saw Porsche Penske Motorsport achieve their best result of the year, with the number 6 Porsche taking its second win of the season. Also, if you want a full breakdown of the event at Road America, make sure to check out my race review, which I'll link in the description. With the absence of GTP and LMP2, IMSA is only bringing the GTD Pro and GTD classes to VIR, meaning that the Pro class will become the headline category. The entry list will feature 9 cars in GTD Pro and 14 in GTD, for a combined total of 23 entries on the grid for the Michelin GT Challenge. The GTD Pro field will not feature the additional number 35 Conquest Ferrari, which won last time out at Road America. And it's also worth mentioning that AO Racing will continue to run the Roxy livery at VIR, with Rexy returning for the final 2 endurance races. Speaking of the number 77 Porsche, for this race, Klaus Bachler will be joining Lauren Heinrich in the 911 GT3R, as the only car to have a driver change in the Pro category. As for GTD, the only change is for the number 45 Lamborghini from WTR Andretti, which sees Sandy Mitchell replace Kyle Marcelli. But I do want to mention that Albert Costa Balboa will indeed be racing in his number 34 Ferrari from Conquest Racing, despite having a clash with the European Le Mans Series round at Spa-Francorchamps this weekend, where he typically drives the Nielsen Racing Pro-Am LMP2 entry in that championship. Now, let's move on to the track and the race itself. The Virginia International Raceway is located near the town of Alton, Virginia, and was opened to the public on August 3rd of 1957. Now, it is worth pointing out that the track was closed in 1974, but was thankfully reopened in March of 2000. The current layout is FIA Grade 2 and has 17 turns that make up the 3.2 mile track, or 5.2 kilometers in length. The race lap record is still held by German racer and 24 Hours of Spa winner Lucas Luhr, when he set a 1 minute 36.112 in 2012 driving his Acura ARX-03. Now, besides IMSA, the Virginia International Raceway has also hosted rounds in the SRO GT World Challenge America and the current Trans Am Series. IMSA has been coming to this track for many decades, and sports car races have been held here ever since the circuit was opened in 1957. In fact, a Maserati 450S won the first race. When the circuit was reopened in 2000, sports car racing came back through the American Le Mans Series, starting in 2002 with Chris Dyson and Andy Wallace taking the first win since coming back in the Dyson Racing SSC 2K Judd prototype entry. Today, the race lasts a total of 2 hours and 40 minutes long, with it being the only GT exclusive event in IMSA. The last race in the North American Championship was held in 2023, and the overall win was clinched by Antonio Garcia and Jordan Taylor's number 3 Corvette, competing in the GTD Pro category, which crossed the line with a 2-second gap to the number 14 Vassar Sullivan Lexus. Coming home in third was the number 1 Paul Miller Racing BMW, which completed the top 3 overall, and in fact that car also won the GTD class win, back when it was a part of that category in 2023. Let's now take a look at the championship standings heading into VIR. And considering the GTP and LMP2 classes are not present, I won't go into those championship standings, and I'll move on to the GTD standings. In GTD Pro, the number 77 AO Racing Porsche, aka Roxy, is at the top of the standings, with the 23 Heart of Racing Aston Martin in second, and completing the top 3 is the number 14 Vassar Sullivan Lexus. The number 3 Pratt Miller Corvette is in 4th, with the number 1 Paul Miller Racing BMW completing the top 5 after their successful second place finish at Road America. Finally, in the GTD class, it's the number 57 Windward Racing Mercedes that continues to lead this championship. The number 96 Turner Motorsports BMW is in second, followed by the 32 Korkhoff Preston Motorsports Mercedes, the Conquest Racing Ferrari, and finally completing the top 5 is the number 12 Vassar Sullivan Lexus. Now I do want to point out that there aren't many changes to the balance of performance for the GT categories. There are a few changes to the Acura NSX GT3 and the Lamborghini Huracan GT3 Evo, but ultimately, the Ford Mustang GT3 remains the lightest car, with the Mercedes AMG GT3 remaining the heaviest. Now a moment ago, I did mention that there are no prototypes on the grid for this race. However, that's not entirely true when it comes to the support series. One of IMSA's support series that they're bringing is the VP Racing Sports Car Championship, which does see the return of LMP3 cars to this event. So technically, while prototypes will not be racing in the main event, they will still be here at Virginia International Raceway in the form of LMP3 cars. Speaking of support series, alongside the VP Racing Sports Car Championship, IMSA is bringing the Michelin Pilot Challenge, as well as the Whelen Mazda MX-5 Cup. As for the event schedule for the main race, it will be set up by one single qualifying session because the prototype classes are not here. That single qualifying session will take place on Saturday, August 24th, starting at 4:45 p.m. and going until 5:05 p.m. local time. By the way, this area of Virginia is in the Eastern Daylight Time Zone. The 2-hour and 40-minute race will take place on Sunday, August 25th, and the broadcast will begin at 12 o'clock p.m. and go until about 3 o'clock p.m. local time. As for watching this race live in 2024, if you're living in the United States of America, you can watch it on the Peacock streaming service as well as the USA Network. This is going to be an NBC broadcast. As for the rest of the world, you'll be able to watch this race on IMSA TV as well as IMSA's official YouTube channel. This is going to be an IMSA broadcast. If watching live is not possible though, don't worry because IMSA is going to be posting the full race on their official YouTube channel. I'll put a link to the channel in the description. Here on this channel, I'll also be covering the event with a race review later on. So that completes the major details that you need to know ahead of the 2024 Michelin GT Challenge at VIR. Are you excited for IMSA's one and only GT exclusive event this year? And which GT3 car do you think will take the overall win? Well, let me know all your thoughts on this down in the comments. Thanks for watching. For more content on endurance racing such as the WEC and IMSA, consider subscribing if you haven't already. On screen, you'll find some suggested videos to watch next. For now though, that's it for me. You'll hear from me next in the following video.